48 seconds for 2 logos to tell you that Disney did this.
Boom! Accept your apology.
The director said, let's have Ralph eat a giant cherry that looks like an apple. It'll make him look like even more of an asshole. Let's just distill this movie's myth about f***ing Tapper, okay? That guy sold alcoholic drinks to cowboys, athletes, punk rockers, and aliens. The idea that he sells root beer to these video game characters is a lie. If this is true, then the adult video game characters in this world are depressed as hell. They can't get the good stuff. We're barely 2 minutes in, and this movie has a burping contest. Hey Disney, the kids who watched this 6 years ago already thought planking was tired. Tron has a virus, which, what? Tell me how that works with an arcade machine? And furthermore, if these 2 movies have taught me anything, the arcade owner disposes of the machines as soon as anything goes wrong with them. So why is he keeping Tron plugged in?
Help! Hey, Tron!
In the service of one stupid joke, movie yada yada's the entire line of logic that would explain how Vanellope and Ralph got out of the Tron game. Like, this appears to be the same night. So what happened? Did Felix come out and let them out?
For 27 years, I was a total zero without any friends.
Have we discussed the weirdness of different generations of video games with different advances in code, easily moving in and out of every game they want? Because that's weird, yo. Also, does nobody except Vanellope and Ralph wander from game to game in this arcade? You don't see anybody else in other games unless it's Tapper.
Home run!
Character humorously misappropriates another sport when talking about playing another sport cliche.
That's a plug-in alert.
This is what I used to tell my college roommate whenever I thought there was a possibility of coitus in my dorm room that night.
Whiffy? Or wifey? Well, it's either wiffle ball or an arranged marriage game.
How would Ralph have any clue about arranged marriages? I know, it's a joke, but it's a stupid joke, given the context of the character.
The internet, which is an online community where human beings go to shop.
Son explaining.
Yeah, the glitch. I love her.
Glitch stands. There are glitch stands in this universe now?
Oh, fun, I'm winning.
This is presented as Vanellope kicking everyone's ass in this game on a consistent basis. But if the player who is controlling her sucks, what happens then? She's super popular, so I assume she's very rarely an NPC that could dominate on her own. And yeah, she later takes the detour on her own, but apparently that's the first time it's ever happened. Cool, but isn't he supposed to be inside his game right now? And the end of the last movie told us how popular it is now ever since Q*bert characters got inside it. Funny how the Toy Story characters managed to live under one basic rule about not revealing themselves to humans, and video game characters have none. Vanellope apparently likes the idea of a new track more than winning, and she completely removes control of her character from the young people playing her game. Maybe the point is that they never had control, but what if someone simply decided to stop playing? Would they see Vanellope continue hauling ass on the track and winning?
Oh, no.
How are they not seeing Ralph come into this picture on the screen here? Vanellope was the only viewable character during the race, so they should all be clearly visible, right? Where is camera?
You know I take my duty as your hero very seriously.
You took a serious duty where?
Duty, part 2D.
How much? That's more than this game makes in a year.
Maybe you should put some Q*bert characters into it.
We found some good homes for so many of our chums from Sugar Rush.
By the way, what did happen to those Q*bert characters from the last movie? They're suspiciously not here anymore.
Come along, Condiment.
That's racist.
Why does your lame TV only have one channel?
Are there TVs in Sugar Rush that play cable or something? It's a miracle this world has a TV. Are there video game characters that act in shows?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
This goes on for a frustrating amount of time.
This is an important mission I will cover for you.
Yeah, but a central character will still be missing from the game, right? Wasn't this the main problem with the last f***ing movie?
Drinks out of the house, everybody! Felix is paying!
Apparently with currency that translates between very different games and is never explained. Shots!
Okay, connect to network.
Ralph and Vanellope picked the perfect time to go into the Wi-Fi router, as it just happens to be the very moment Litwack is turning it on and operating it. Also, in the previous movie, Mr. Litwack's first name is Stan, but on his name tag here, it's clearly Del. The hell happened there? Was Litwack Arcade taken over by Stan's evil twin? Through this very strange arcane process, Vanellope and Ralph are shot through the internet. You gotta get there somehow, I suppose, but even for a warped cartoon reality, this seems like a stretch. I know it seems like they're going super fast from their perspective, but this is an achingly slow pace for data to travel. For that reason, I'll assume Litwack's internet provider is definitely Comcast. You know your movie is in trouble when it looks like the same world from the Emoji movie. I know Ralph has to have a place he can break, but why does the internet always have to be represented by some central city in TV and movies? Isn't the entire point that it's not centralized?
Redirecting to DesmondsTutus.com.
They never say thank you.
Does the Knows Search engine really not know how this works? If someone actually said thank you to him, that would be world-shattering.
How did you...
The internet's very intuitive.
Just say blah blah blah, movie. The only reason Vanellope is better at interneting than Ralph is that she's playing a younger character. I mean, it's not like she's an actual spring chicken. The whole reason they're here is because her old-ass game's been discontinued. Also, can we discuss how incredibly convenient it is that Litwack installed Wi-Fi in the arcade on the exact day that Sugar Rush broke? Aw, Oh, isn't that cute? Twitter is being presented here as a nice world full of cute birds showing cat photos, and not as a full-on bloodbath, birdbath, blurred bath of racism, stupidity, trolling, stupidity, and race-pitity. If Google is proudly in this movie, then why did they even need a nose more?
Guess we know where to go if we ever need a pair of goggles.
No, seriously, this is the best this movie could offer in this context. I loved you, Wreck-It Ralph. You were the animated chosen one. Now Spider-Man and his Spider-Verse has the high ground. I'm trying very hard and failing to figure out what all this foot traffic wandering aimlessly at eBay represents.
We're really gonna do it. We're actually gonna save my game.
Man, just like pig and elephant DNA, premature celebration and eBay definitely won't splice.
Get rid of belly fat using this one weird trick.
God damn it, movie. If you're gonna be a Chappelle Show skit ripoff, at least show some balls and throw in some porn.
The beaver, the beautifully taxidermied beaver.
Oh, you, that doesn't count.
The tortilla chip shaped like international superstar Beyonce Knowles goes for $400.
Now I know the movie's trolling me, since that chip would have gone for way more in real life.
Stacy. Oh, someone else is trying to win it. Come on, hurry, let's go!
Not only is Vanellope able to pick out this one item in the middle of all this, there just happens to be someone bidding on it right now, and the auction is just about to run out.
1,000!
The joke is that Vanellope and Ralph have no idea how eBay works, and they just think that saying the biggest number wins, not knowing it's money. And this auction itself doesn't even put a dollar sign in front of the current bid, like it's actively trying to prevent them from figuring it out. But they know about money. Tapper demanded it earlier for Ralph's bar tab. And while Litwack never says the dollar amount out loud, he does balk at getting a new one, and says that's more than this game makes in a year. So context clues, even for video game characters, should get them to figure this out.
We are set to ship one Sugar Rush steering wheel to a Litwax family funland in Los Alvarezos, California.
And we don't need a real shipping address for that. We tell our nation's delivery workers to just figure that out on their own.
I'll just need a credit card number.
eBay didn't even need the credit card before they started bidding, or before they gave them an address to ship it, probably because they wanted to destroy Vanellope and Ralph's dreams after they thought they won it.
If I don't have a steering wheel, I don't have a game. I'm gameless.
When did Vanellope's glitching become tied to her anxiety? I thought it was supposed to be a goddamn superpower, not a nervous tick.
I got a guy in Des Moines, Iowa, who will pay 40 grand for Shank's car from a game called Slaughter Race.
Someone is actually willing to pay 40 grand for a video game car? It's amazing Spanley doesn't get more business if there are people willing to shell out the amount of money it takes to get a real car. Did they seriously just walk here and are wandering through the game unattended? Like, how long have they been walking? Where was the entrance to the game itself? What are the rules of the travel in this movie?
Look. There it is.
Movie, I'm giving up with listing how many ways you're absurdly convenient after the discovery of this super rare car within seconds of entering this game. So here's 10 extra sins to cover what I'm sure is a mountain of bullshit for the rest of the runtime.
Hey, I think that might be Shank.
Ralph is dumb, sure, and the movie's making a joke here about him stating the obvious. But is it suggesting that he just saw the big title card splash on the screen like we did? Chris tells me there's no way that this screen wouldn't get cracked after being hit with a controller because of the results gathered from the wallet test.
Hey Shank, did you ever wonder what it would be like if someone actually did get your car?
Movie is making it sound like the community of players of this world's most popular game couldn't figure out how to get Shank's car, sharing information on what happens when you go inside the warehouse. The way this whole thing is staged makes it look like, while it might be difficult, it's not as difficult as the movie is saying it is.
I'm here from the Department of Noise.
Right after an unsuccessful attempt to steal her car, Shank entertains Ralph's silly ruse long enough for Vanellope to try to steal it. I thought her title card said her favorite weapon was smarts.
I'm just gonna go.
Abraham Lincoln, who is a hardcore gamer and was on the verge of stealing the most coveted item in the world's most popular game, suddenly acts ridiculously timid just because Shank got in the car. And why? She just started over. It's not like she has anything to lose by standing up to Shank.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
The Ralph and the Furious. Vanellope has the best car in the game, and Shank does not. At this point, it's just about speed and not technique. So how the hell did she catch up to her so fast in some rando's hoopty? So out of the entire internet, no one else is playing this game right now? Or at least in this location? Seems like a pretty popular place, but it's completely abandoned for this scene. Jesus, how much lucky is this? Shank not only knows what she needs to do to get past the fire, but she apparently had all her other moves mapped out beyond that, even though she couldn't see what the situation was on the other side. Even in video game world, a car going in reverse to catch up to this car going forward is a sin.
Hit big boy with a blow and go.
I'd love to.
Wait, what's the...
I guarantee you this is not what you'll find if you Google blow and go.
There are much better ways to make money on the internet than stealing cars. If this thing goes viral...
Honestly, between attempting to steal Shank's car and trying to get videos to go viral on the internet for money, which one is more difficult? I'm gonna say getting videos to go viral. Also, they need the money in like 24 hours? Try accumulating $27,001 in one day on YouTube through sheer advertising and no extortion.
Everybody knows BuzzTube is the video sharing site.
What the hell? They've already literally shown the YouTube app when they first got to the internet. So why the didn't they just use that for the C story? Also, just so I'm unclear, these are NPCs in a singular video game that are making self-aware viral videos for people in the real world by using web-connected phones that are part of that game's digital environment. Do I have that wrong?
Just here to let you know your bid expires in 8 hours.
When they tried to check out from eBay, the bot said that they'd hold the item for 24 hours. So holy shit, it took them 16 hours to meet with Spamley and do the whole slaughter race caper? Also, what's happening back at the arcade if it has taken this long? It's definitely open, so how are they explaining Ralph's absence?
If we nickel and dime it with Spamley, it will take 20 years to make enough money to buy the wheel.
It's hilarious that Spamley has video game quests that can net $5 or $6 or $40,000, and nothing between those values that could add up over very little time.
You are trending, and these are for you. Heart.
It's like if Disney asked me specifically what I didn't want this movie to be and then made that exact movie.
Your Buzzy account converts hearts into dollars.
Meritocracies.
What if I made you a whole bunch of videos of me doing all kinds of them crazy things?
You mean saturate the market? That could get you a lot of hearts fast.
Pretty sure this is not how it works, but carry on, movie. This is already exhausting.
I'll just copy whatever's popular.
Genius!
But Yes was literally just poo-pooing the derivative videos that Maybe was showing her. This fucking movie cannot get out of its own way, can it?
That is what the internet was made for! Now, let's get to work.
I'm sorry, is the algorithm for the site making content for the site? I know we're anthropomorphizing a lot in this movie, but this one scrambles my brain worse than that PCP I took a few hours ago. I just threw my wallet and my PS4 controller at the screen. The controller and the screen broke, and once I paid to have them replaced, my wallet followed suit.
I'm gonna send you a super random video. Check it out, dude.
Like the dude behind you can't just see this shit for himself on your screen? Every single asshole in this office building is watching a different Ralph video. And while it serves your purpose for this one shot, it's implausible and wrong, and I hate it.
Look at these guys. Look at this one sleeping under his ear.
Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds to explain to me what this section of the movie is. Is it a satire about the vapid and banal videos that people mindlessly consume? A commentary on the ultimate futility of content creativity? A rumination on the ubiquity of viral videos in the workplace? I'm sorry, your time is up. We're gonna go with dumb montage. That's a dumb montage.
We haven't been apart in like 6 years.
You know, except for the majority of every day when they go off to play their respective games. I'm being overly literal here, of course, but the movie makes it out to seem like they can't spend any time apart, and that's definitely not true. This really should have been titled We Own All the Things, and wanted to remind you about that, the movie. Also, you gotta hand it to them for sticking Dumbo in their city of Disney porn. I'm surprised neon letters aren't embossed into his trunk saying, "Coming in March."
I'll get my mice on this.
The Vanellope runs into the Disney princesses part of the movie is the best part. Unfortunately, it feels like it's already been done by Shrek the Third. Not better, mind you, just done.
No, it's not a metaphor. I literally want a steering wheel.
Then why are you sitting around with all these delightful but unnecessary characters, considering there's gotta be very little time before the item is released? Also, at this point, they know at least generally how eBay works. So why wouldn't they just let the $27,001 bid expire and then go back in and bid on it again with the revenue they have from Ralph's videos? Is it so we can have an artificial deadline for this movie? I think it's so we can have an artificial deadline for this movie. Wow, movie is saying that the algorithm for the site within the internet lost the connection to the internet in which it's in. If this happens, shouldn't the world outside be falling apart? This fucking terrible Ralph Goat video has an ungodly 130 million views in 7 hours. For reference, Ariana Grande's Thank You Next got 55.4 million views in 24 hours, and Ralph's goat shenanigans are barely better than that song, so give me a fucking break. Ralph spins the display with the goat video at 130 million views, and when we return, it's sitting at 302 million. The idea of this amount of views, more than doubling in 3 seconds, is slim.
What the heck is this place?
It's the comment section, Ralph, and none of those internet avatars are here, despite the comments being currently added. Vanellope sings a place called Slaughter Race, and I rolled the out of my eyes when the song started, but it's fucking awesome. Everything that this movie should have been, smart, subversive, pointed, relevant. I'm gonna finally take a sin off for something.
That's the Sequoia Speedway.
How did Vanellope get to Slaughter Race so quickly? She was all the way out in Disney Town just a few minutes ago, right? And isn't she supposed to be in Yes's personal browsing history? I'm sick of trying to figure out the rules in this movie, especially considering it's almost 75% through.
Can I tell you something that I don't think I could ever tell Ralph?
He's behind me, isn't he? I wanted to wait until this very moment to say this.
And the racing is super dangerous.
How dangerous is it really, though? If you get in a wreck, do you feel pain? And if you do, for how long? Can you even die?
So, is there a way to do something like that to Slaughter Race?
He's talking about a virus, but let's review this, shall we? A video game character from a 1980s arcade hit somehow transported himself via electrical cables into a router, which sent him to the internet, where he met this pop-up ad named Spamley. Together, without any human interference whatsoever, they'll create a virus and somehow mess up Slaughter Race. That isn't a sin. I don't know what the is.
This dude is a virus-making machine.
Wow, little pump lifts down here?
Thank you. You're assist face. Out! I mean...
Oh sure, all the villains give away their super dangerous and valuable malware completely free, especially in the dark web.
Beginner's luck.
Hang on, Vanellope just straight abandoned Ralph with no explanation? She seriously doesn't think he'll notice she's gone? Especially since she agreed to meet him at eBay like 2 hours ago. I don't care if she's stalling because he's gonna be upset. That's completely out of character.
Deliver the car to Bert's Chop Shop, but watch out for Shank and her crew.
Considering that Shank is generally considered unbeatable because this movie has told us she is, does that mean no one's gotten past this part of the game either? I mean, stealing her car is one thing, but getting through a normal everyday level? Let's not forget this is a massively popular game, and that people would be wondering how the hell the obscure character from Sugar Rush got here without the programmers doing anything.
Copying insecurity. Distributing insecurity.
The most harmful aspect of this virus is its need to vocalize everything it does.
We'll be fine, but your code isn't part of this game. We gotta get you out of here now.
This would be a hazard, even if there wasn't a virus attacking insecurities in the game. A server reboot? How often does that happen during an online game's life? Like, a lot, right?
Follow me to the exit.
Luckily for Vanellope's chances of survival, the virus progresses through the game right behind her, kind of like the deep freeze in The Day After Tomorrow.
What about me?
Why would I ever spend another second with you?
When you can predict that a protagonist fight before the climax of the movie cliche is going to happen before you even watch the movie, you shouldn't have that cliche in your movie. The virus was still in the game when Slaughter Race rebooted, right? So why is it allowed to continue virusing well after the fact? Ralph's heavy hands uncover heavy-handed symbolism.
Breaking news. The internet is under assault.
Where the hell did that giant TV with full volume come from? It certainly hasn't been on during this whole movie. 28,000 Ralphs later. World War R?
I followed those things here. I think they're looking for you, kid.
You followed them? You mean you weren't in the lead? Because how the f did you get past 1,000,000 Ralphs to get inside here?
Sort of a codependent Pied Piper situation.
Wait, we know a Pied Piper.
We do?
Yes!
The Ralphs are drawn to Vanellope, so why do they need Yes to be the Pied Piper? Can't they get into any vehicle? And as long as Vanellope is in it, they can lead the Ralphs to the antivirus chamber?
Yes, I forgot to tell Ralph that when you break the internet, you don't literally have to break the internet.
Roll Ralphies!
I mean, dude obviously made some real questionable choices here, but he also made a bee pun to save his best friend's game. So, what can I say, kid? Life's complicated.
This is the worst part of this movie by far, because the story needs to balance Ralph's catastrophic actions. Yes brings up the fact that he did something really embarrassing and stupid to save Vanellope's game, but he doesn't give two shits about the game. All he cares about is Vanellope being around, possessing her, so to speak. It's what all his dialogue and actions have revealed about his character.
I never said I didn't want to be your friend. I said you were acting like a bad friend.
Oh, really? Then what was this scene then? You threw the heart necklace away, you told him you were going wherever he wasn't, told him not to follow you, and told him to leave you alone. I admit there wasn't a I don't want to be your friend in there, but it's a far cry from what you're saying it was, and you were right to feel that way.
Oh, we're gonna make it!
Premature celebration aside, how the f do a bunch of giant Ralphs catch up to this speeding vehicle? All the individual Ralphs combine to form one giant insecure Ralph, because that makes total sense. That means beyond their destructive feelings for Vanellope, they also have creepy Voltronic desires. King Ralph is distracted by real Ralph, despite its singular Vanellope focus. What are the stakes here? Is the internet really in danger? Especially since the Ralph of Ralphs is solely focused on pursuing Vanellope. Can Ralph really be killed by King Ralph? Will any of this matter by the time the inevitable third entry titled Wreck It is introduced?
That's not how friendship works. You need to let her go.
So, is the rest of the internet cool right now? It was previously overrun with all the Ralphs, but now that they've coalesced into one giant figure, I guess all the shit's back online? And the virus that's loose in the entire internet didn't find any other insecurities to duplicate? In the entire internet? Whoa, I just realized something. These Ralphs are essentially one gigantic human centipede.
Just gotta trust her, because that's what best friends do.
I'd like everyone to remember that this is a 100% insecure embodiment of Ralph's codependency, and somehow it was able to be reasoned with.
Look up there! Oh, it's a big, strong man in need of rescuing.
Prince Excess Machina. Yeah, okay, this Disney Princesses Rescue the Day montage is pretty funny, and sometimes clever, but movie has spent any goodwill it had left on that f***ing giant Ralph bullshit. Also, this is an absurdly complicated plan to save one falling dude. Like, just send the carpet to catch him, or have the ice slide reach all the way to the ground, or a million other things that would work more easily.
You know, Shank added my code and everything.
The programmers of Slaughter Race must be damn proud of themselves to create a goddamn sentient video game character that can change programming code. If anyone investigates this, they've found news equaling the discovery of alien life. This wave scene lasts 25 seconds, but I assure you it outlasts the ending of The Return of the King.
Even though we got that steering wheel and saved Sugar Rush, it's never really gonna be the same.
Yeah, the most popular character in the game has mysteriously left it, and nobody noticed this shit.
How on earth did you tame those things?
Clearly it's granny law. Jesus, does Jane Lynch have to do this in every movie?
The bunny gets the pancake.
No lie, this is f***ing terrifying. This is supposed to be an amusing credit scene, and the bunny goddamn pops! The worst Marvel ever did was make people aware shawarma exists.
You want me to give you the number of a different cable company that can... Oh, wait, we're it, aren't we?
Like, doesn't the very nature of our existence make you wonder if there's more to life than this?
You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
Did you hear that, kid? Sweet echo. Check this out.
Echo. Pinch hitting for Pedro Borbon. Manny Mota.
I will take a break.
And you'll quit the drugs.
I will quit the drugs.
Dewey! Oh, baby. I've been praying about this day for so long.
What did you just put in your mouth?
Gum.
Let me just say that if God was a city planner, he would not put a playground next to a sewage system.
Mole you. Meet you. Nice to meet you, Mole. Don't say Mole.
The internet can also be a place where you find a steering wheel at one website.
Or play Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam.
I'm kicking my ass, do you mind?